Donna Morgan. I'm here in beautiful Dona, Arizona, and I want to talk today about how to make your life more magical. So, I was the kind of kid where, I don't know, for as long as I can remember, I grew up in Northwest New Jersey. It was really beautiful where I grew up on 5 lakes, lots of nature around me. And I just remember from like the youngest me that I can remember, really little, going outside and making potions and picking flowers and, you know, rocks and doing all kinds of mojo very young. And I think I was being really intentional with it. And then I would say that when I got to middle school, teenage years, I was still a magical person, but more like as a counselor to my friends and all the drama in high school and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I don't think that I still did potions outside, but I did have crystals in my room. I had a lot of amethysts actually, because my dad's client, my dad was a lawyer, his client like owned an amethyst mine of all things. And so he would always give us amethysts. So that was like the beginning of me loving crystals. Wow, that's so cool. I love it. Anyway, so then I went to college, University of Colorado Boulder, walking on the Pearl Street Mall, and there was a tarot reader outside of a bookstore called The Lighthouse, which is like a metaphysical bookstore. And I was like, what's this? And like, I feel like I had some sort of cellular memory thing going on where I was like, what's this? I know what this is. Oh my gosh. Zing. So I had a reading with this tarot reader. I still remember her name. Her name was Linda. And she sent me inside, very magical experience. She sent me inside to buy my first tarot deck, the Rider-Waite tarot, one of the very first ones that was ever created. She told me what book to get, and I started playing with tarot ever since then. And so, yeah, I do that. That's part of what helps me feel more magical. That's something that I do to incorporate magic into my life, and you can too. You could get an oracle deck and pick a card of the day. You could do tarot, whatever. In my Instagram on stories, every day I pick a card for the collective. If you see it, you're meant to. You could check that out in the morning. But I do consider that a way to have a more magical life. Okay, most basic way. Nature. Look at this. Doesn't have to look as amazing as Sedona. There are other amazing places, and you could live in a city and get outside in nature. You could go to a flower shop. A friend of mine who went to NYU, a colleague and friend, told me that how she would get in touch with nature is like to go to a flower shop and just walk in there and feel all the flowers and the plants, and that would help her, of course, go to Central Park, whatever. But for me, nature is a spiritual practice. I love to hike. I meditate outside in nature. I'm outside every day. It's just a part of me. It does help me feel more in tune with myself, with the universe, my clients, my family, my husband, everything, right? So I truly, truly, truly recommend getting out in nature if you want to have a more magical life. Set intentions. I set intentions at the new moon. I work with them through all the lunar cycles. I am all about setting intentions. I'm all about looking at my intentions, taking inspired action on my intentions, and knowing how to be intuitive in order to know what's next, what I want to create next in my life, versus maybe what somebody else wants me to create. So, setting intentions, another way. Reading the signs. Oh my gosh, if you've been watching me at all for any amount of time, you know that I love signs. And here in Arizona, we're lucky. We've got a lot of animals, wild animals, and birds, and all kinds of signs that could come through the animal kingdom. I've had a raven flying over my house and talking to me for the last week, like literally every day. And so I looked up that totem. And funny thing, it's about magic. So that's what made me realize I had to do this video, that raven. So who knows? Maybe when I get home later, that raven won't be around anymore. Cardinals, hummingbirds. Hummingbirds are pretty much everywhere, right? Oh my gosh, we had a pigeon fly over us over us when my husband and I were hanging out, just like sort of having our Monday Mojo meeting, I call it. And I looked it up. A pigeon is a messenger. So I was like, okay, I'm supposed to receive a message. What's the message? It could be a license plate in front of you that says the perfect thing to help you know that you're on the right path, or to get you on path, or you overhear somebody talking about something that answers your question. Yeah, reading the signs. That is a really, really good one. Doing ritual. I do ritual at the new and full moon, and it totally centers me. It's completely magical. And even if you just write down your intentions, throw them in a fire, and that's it. You've done something magical. You have created some kind of a ritual around your intentions. That's all I can think of right now. But hey, there's a new list, and maybe you do some of these in terms of how to have a more magical life. We all want a more magical life, and it's not that hard. It really isn't. We just have to be in touch with ourselves, in touch with nature, in touch with totems and signs, do some ritual. Yeah, it's all right here. It's all right here. We just have to tune into it and maybe be a little intentional about it. Okay, well, that's it. I will see you at the full moon really soon.